You're listening to Rudy Radio, powered by Rude Rangers Entertainment. I'm Terra Renee from African American Women in Cinema Organization, and this is Talk with Terra, a show that highlights fantastic filmmakers, artists, and entertainers from all walks of life. We're committed to introducing you to individuals, organizations, and projects of which you're not necessarily aware. And we do this with the intention of uplifting, empowering, and enlightening you. If you can, please share this episode on all your social media platforms. We'd also love it if you text your friends and ask them to tune in. Today, we have a fabulous guest. Miss Tiffany, who is a filmmaker, producer, ... Hello, Miss Tiffany. How are you?
Hello, Terra. Thank you so much for having me on this incredible show and the Rudy platform and everything. I am so honored to be on with you today.
Well, so honored to have you, and it is truly my pleasure. I tell you, I am just enthused at your latest film project, which we're definitely going to talk about. Powerful piece, which I'm just blown away at it. How did you get started in media?
You know what, Terra, to answer that question truthfully, I need to go way back to preschool. All right.
Wow.
And apparently, I was just talking to my mom about this, but apparently I was cast in the Little Miss Muffet production in my play school. And I was the title character, Little Miss Muffet. And, we would come home and we would rehearse. But when my mom would do it, she would just like crouch in the corner and, frighten Miss Muffet away. She would do this over and over and over again. I'm like, she could just be in the middle of something. I'm like, Mommy, do it again. And she would do it with such enthusiasm. I am the youngest of 4 children.
Wow.
My oldest brother is 11 years older than me. Then my sister's 10 years older, and then the sister is 4 years older than me. So by the time I came to have this type of enthusiasm, I have 2 kids. Okay, it's not a small thing. And so from that, I knew that that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to be involved in creating that feeling for people. That spark came on inside of me. And so I wanted to be a storyteller. I wanted to be an actress. I wanted to be in the arts. And so eventually I went to Howard University and I graduated from the National Conservatory of Dramatic Arts. And I moved here with the dream of starting my own production company and being an actress. So I did like a lot of people. I went through off-Broadway with the Negro Ensemble Company and eventually made my way into ministry and kind of put that on the back burner. And I would say probably from the first date I had with my husband, I said, I'm from DC, so you can detect a little bit of a twang. And from early on, I told him what my whole purpose for being here. And then if I ever had a production studio, I would name it Miss Muffet Studios in honor of my mom and just the seeds that she sowed in me, the seeds that the dreams that she helped manifest in my life, she and my dad. So yeah.
Wow, what a powerful
You never know what you're doing with these little preschoolers.
That reminded me of the time that I was in a play in the 3rd grade. It was a play about animals, and I was a lion. So I remember my mother making a little lion suit for me.
Wow. These days we remember. Yeah.
That seed that you sow. Well, you talked about your journey to the creation of your wonderful studio, which is great. Any unique stories along that journey that you would like to share about it?
In the creation of our studio?
Yes.
I would say that the pandemic proved to be a bit of a blessing for us in that it forced a number of people that are entrepreneurs, particularly independent filmmakers, to rethink what is necessary to get the work done, to get the job done. So I would say pre-pandemic, when we thought about really kind of solidifying our studio, it seemed like really big, like, oh my gosh, let's get brick and mortar, you know? And then the pandemic kind of interrupted all of that. And you realize it's not necessary for all of us to be housed under a particular place, especially if you're doing documentaries, you know, you're out in the field. Do you necessarily need to work with your editor right here in your face? You know what I'm saying? So, or the sound mixer, so it was a blessing in that nothing had to stand in the way. Like the things that you would normally say, oh, well, I have a studio, so I must have this, and I must have X number of people working under me, and I must have all of this equipment. And then you realize, no, I need to know where to put resources. I need to know how to outsource and how to create relationships and develop and mold those relationships. So that's what I feel is unique about us. We're still aspirational and having that big studio like MGM, Paramount, Tyler Perry, all these big things. But for right now, we're just putting one foot in front of the other and getting the job done.
That is awesome. That is awesome. So, Tiffany, can you tell the audience, what was your first film that you produced?
This is my first film.
Wow.
Chicago, America's Hidden War is my first film that I produced. So this is my producing debut, to tell you the truth. It's just this one and only. I've been incredibly blessed and honored that the Lord would see fit to, we made the first round of the Oscars.
Congratulations.
And this is like out the gate. So I am overwhelmed. I hope it'll continue to be like this. But this is my introduction.
Wow. Yeah. Well, if this is your introduction, wow, I can't wait to see what the next one will look like, the next film project. It's going to be amazing. You're going to blow everything out the water. I know it.
Thank
you. Please
sis.
Tell the audience about your film. And then there's another project, which I know that you didn't produce, your husband did. And I want to definitely talk about that. But please talk about your first incredible project, Chicago.
All right. And I'm glad that you mentioned him, because this is not at all a Lone Star effort. We are one. My husband is Tiffany Salaberrios.
Yes.
He goes under the directorial name of Daylight Supreme. And we will be married 20 years this year. And
congratulations.
In September. Thank you. And so this is a work that is not just him and it's not just me. We are intricately intertwined in this studio project, in the producing and directing of this film. So this particular project, it is called Chicago, America's Hidden War. And it basically chronicles the pervasive violence that's going on in the streets of Chicago. And not just, it focuses on Chicago, but we know as New Yorkers, people from different places in the US and around the world, whether it's Johannesburg or Soweto or Nairobi. There is violence in all kind of different areas. In Chicago in particular, it leads our nation in murders. It is the murder capital of the country. It is the nation's third most populous state. And I would say we started going in and out of Chicago about 5 years ago, and kind of just, we heard little trinklings of things. Like I said, I'm from DC. I lived through when it was the murder capital, and it felt very segmented. I grew up on what's called the Gold Coast in DC on 16th Street. So if you weren't involved in that life, you didn't, it didn't really affect you. My husband was actively engaged during the crack epidemic as a drug boss, here on the streets of New York as a teenager. So he knew what stuff was like, but we had no idea really what Chicago was going through. And so once we found out, it became mind-blowing that the nation really didn't know. And anytime it would come up in the news, it was so dismissive. Like, they have great strict gun laws in Chicago, and look what good that's doing for them. And it was always like people pointing their fingers like, look at them, they just killing themselves, as though that's the end of it. You know what I'm saying? And regardless of whether or not that's the truth, there are so many lives mixed up in it. So as we began to just, I am a woman of faith. My husband, we used to pastor a church in the South Bronx for 17 years, Wow. And so we come from a huge faith background, a Christian background. And we just started trying to mobilize the pastors, trying to mobilize the people who are in that community, regardless of who is in charge as a mayor or not, governor or not, city alderman or not. The people that are there from the womb to the tomb and beyond, and everything in between.
Well, hold that note. We'll be right back.
Okay.
After these messages, you're listening to Talk with Terra, presented by African American Woman in Cinema, right here on Rudy Radio.
Vera Moore Cosmetics and Skincare was formed to empower all women to feel great about themselves for more than just a moment. When it comes to a flawless complexion, skincare is the key. Vera Moore Cosmetics and Skincare is for women of all ages and skin tones. Be the more fabulous woman you were born to be.
I am Madame Francois, and I'm introducing my new luxury skincare brand that's available to you at an attainable price. Discover my beauty secrets, luxurious, effective ingredients with proven results and a price tag that doesn't break the bank. Come indulge with me at lesmadamefrancois.com.
We need some vigilante crews. I'm gonna tell you what we need. So these little old jokers run around who shoot us, you gotta take them snipper pliers, cut their shooting fingers off.
Chicago is back in the national news. With 74 people shot and 12 fatalities, this is now one of the bloodiest weekends on record.
Citizens of the city can't let their kids walk on the street, be on the front stairs even.
It's a little boy that I know, he's 3, 4, 5 years old. He been shot twice.
There were so many bullet holes, and she was bleeding from everywhere.
Violence is the manifestation of our public policy failings across the board.
And this is sad, man. 11-year-old is shot. Boom, 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 boom. And a 17-year-old is shot in the face and dead.
I'm thinking to myself, I could be the next one to get shot, dead. Anywhere, right here, gone.
In Inglewood.
Forever.
It is a war. It ain't Taliban war, it's even worse. Facts. It's worse, man.
Confetti, international Formula One driver. I spent to get to Long Island Telecom before they closed. I need to get one of these fantastic deals that Long Island Telecom has, because you can't beat the price anywhere else. Oh, get away from that car. What are you doing? Freaking kids playing with the car out there. Anyway, I'm glad I got here. Wait, what do you mean you're closing? I gotta come back tomorrow? What's your number? 631-833-9679? Oh, stop writing me a ticket.
Welcome back to Talk with Terra. I am Terra Renee from African American Woman in Cinema. And today we are talking with the powerhouse, Miss Tiffany. Tiffany, please continue what you were saying before we went on break.
I was just saying that for about 3 years, we were going in and out of Chicago to just help mobilize the churches in the area. Because when we started our church in the projects of the South Bronx, the day before we started our church, a murder had happened. They said, oh no, this church is never going to start here. You know what I'm saying? And so we did it anyway and shut down homicides from in Bronx River for close to 19 years now. I think in that time there's been one domestic violence situation, but as far as like just shooting each other, killing each other, there's total shut down. We were cited by the police chief, that the police commissioner here in New York City, as this church is the reason as to why it's been such a change in that community. So we're taking best practices. If you've ever read Carter G. Woodson's The Miseducation of the Negro, if you've ever read the scriptures and the Apostle Paul or Peter telling you, when you know something, when you learn something, you go back and you bring your brother up. And so that is what we went into Chicago with. We're not the only ones that know the answer. It's several different answers to solutions to the problem. The church is not the only answer, but it is a grave mistake to exclude the church as though it is not a huge part of the solution. And so we went into Chicago doing that, didn't even have in our hearts to do a documentary. And eventually, one thing led to another. We started this documentary project, and now you have what is called Chicago, America's Hidden War.
And it is a powerful piece. Now I understand why it's so powerful. With all that behind it, going into it, that is amazing. Tiffany, how long did it take you all to shoot that?
We were on the ground in Chicago. We intentionally went during the bloodiest times of the year, which is July and August. The hot, tempered, blistering hot months in the summer. And so my husband did a 40-day fast, but on the ground, we were there about 53 days filming the documentary, arranging, setting up things, interviews, all this different kind of stuff. So we were there a little shy of 2 months, but 2 critical months when bullets are whizzing and flying all around. So, yeah.
Wow. Amazing. Woo! Okay. How do you and your husband come up with themes that you want to capture? How do you come to these topics?
Again, we are blessed with relationship. And I think that any great documentary, when you can gain access beyond what a normal person can do, that is a gift. And so I think that all the work that we had put in before we ever put a camera in our hands, before we ever hired a crew, all that work paid off. And so we were granted, just to me, unprecedented access. I've never seen some of the things that we depict in our film. I've never watched those kind of things before. And there's quite a lot of material out there on Chicago. This is the access that we were granted with gang members, with active shooters, with children, with people that are the former police chief we're interviewing, the way in which we are able to stand up and speak truth to power. Rahm Emanuel was the mayor at the time, and the police chief then. The police, we were given an amazing amount of access and trust. We were entrusted. I don't want to give away one of the caveats of the movie, but trust and believe. I'll say this: we were granted an exclusive insight into a real gang meeting, and they are strategizing on how to bring down some of the violence, and they did not hold anything back. They were totally truthful. They were, one guy stood up and said, "Listen, this documentary is being filmed, and you have to have all these signs that say, if you stay here, you are agreeing to be on camera and this and that." And the way in which they just dove in and just was truthful and authentic, man, you need to go see the movie just for that. Come on now, Terra, you saw it. You know what I'm talking about, right?
I did. And let me tell you, it was so emotionally moving in so many ways, very captivating and powerful, because it's coming from such a strong space. And this type of storytelling is what we need, because, a lot of things that we see and hear, especially for the past 4 years, just nothing but a bunch of lies from the last administration. So to see just raw truth.
Yes.
Powerful. That is amazing. I was going to ask you, what was, by seeing it on the big screen, after you've done it, what else jumped out at you? Or did you have another favorite moment in the film when watching it on the big screen?
You know, when watching it on the big screen with other people, we premiered it in Hollywood about a week ago. It opened nationwide this week. And
congratulations.
It opened nationwide on May 12th, rather. And thank you. And I would say that the thing that jumped out were the children, you know, and how people responded to the children. You could hear, you know, people wiping away tears, you know, you could just hear it. And also the laughter at certain moments. And it just is, the theater going experience is so rich. Obviously, we've seen it probably hundreds, if not 1,000 or so times in, you know, editing and going through all the different processes of the film. But to see it with other theater goers is compelling. We're so grateful to Forbes did an article saying that this movie is how people should come back to the movies. Like, this is the movie that will get you off of your pandemic couch, put you back and get your popcorn with other people sitting next to you. Like, you need a compelling reason to be worthy of you coming back to the theater. And they said that Chicago, America's Hidden War, is just that thing. So we're thankful for reviews like that, for endorsements like that. But yeah, so just the children, the way in which people respond to what they can do, you know what I'm saying? It shows my husband and some other people on the ground that are engaged in trying to affect change. But if you walk away from that movie saying, oh, that guy, Tiffany Salaberrios, he's Superman, or that Pastor Corey Brooks, oh my God, thank God for that, and that's it, if that's all you get from it, then we have not done a good job. But what people are doing, Terra, they're like, yo, how can we donate? How can we help? How can we make a difference? People have nothing to do with Chicago. You know what I'm saying? So I will say this, as a nation, despite all of our divisions, when we get fired up about something, when we deem something as a crisis, whether it is a levee broke, whether it is a tornado or a hurricane hit, you know what I'm saying? We know how to call Red Cross. We know how to get food together and send all the kind of help or whatever. And this film is finally teaching people, no matter where you are from or how you are different, you can engage in affecting change in the inner city. You don't have to go to the streets of Chicago the way we did, okay? Most people don't even want to do that, should not do it, maybe, I don't know. But you can lend your resources so that other people can be equipped to be in that fight. You know what I'm saying? To help these kids, to help these children. And so I am just so thankful for being a part of revolutionizing the way that we as Americans and as a nation can articulate how to send help to these different areas. I think, you know, that's one of my proudest points of coming from the movie.
And you know, this is amazing. And thank you so much for sharing that. This is amazing because what you all are doing, and in particular with this film, which is a very powerful medium, you're shedding light so that way it can shift what's going on. And in my mind, in a positive direction to save generations that are coming up in that environment. Because it's, you know, when things are not talked about, dealt with, it keeps going. But a light have to be shed on it and brought to the forefront so it can be dealt with. And that's exactly what you and your husband did. And I am grateful. There's going to be generations that will appreciate what you all did, the sacrifices you made to make this shift happen. And Terra, I am just proud.
If I could just piggyback on that, you know, when you read history about the Holocaust, it's when it remained hidden. You know what I'm saying? That just the atrocities were able to just multiply to extreme lengths. Rwanda, like when we look at those, I've been to Rwanda. I went to Rwanda 10 years after the genocide. And talk to both sides, the Hutus and the Tutsis. And it is when things remained hidden, you know what I'm saying, that the atrocities can continue. This right here, as long as it can no longer remain hidden. We deserve more. We deserve more, and we need to be accountable as Black women and Black men to our own. You know what I'm saying? We can't wait for Biden, Trump, anybody. We can't wait for them to do the work that we need to do. And as a body of believers, we can't wait. You know what I'm saying? This is like a genocidal, stuff that's going on. I mean, just because we're not calling them the Tutsies and the Hutus, it's just the same thing. It's a disregard for human life.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? You are wantonly just killing people indiscriminately, no regard. You know what I'm saying? Children are affected. And that right there, I think when we sit there and say, yeah, Bobo or Jojo, whoever his name is, they just shooting up each other. And it seems like, oh, well, these people deserve to shoot each other. They both involved in crime, you know? But it's beyond that. It's the mothers, it's the sisters, it's the fathers, it's the uncles, it's the neighbors, it's the children that's caught up in all this, that this can no longer be remain hidden. I pray that it will just give a groundswell of outrage, but not just outrage, because outrage is never enough. It's outrage and action. We must move into action and stop playing games. Listen, if the gun laws never change, what difference does that make? You know what I'm saying?
Well, that is true. Well, we have to take another commercial break, but please don't forget to share this episode on social media. You're listening to Talk with Terra, powered by African American Women in Cinema on Rudy Radio.
We need some vigilante crews. I'm gonna tell you what we need. So these little old jokers run around who shoot us, you gotta take them all, snipper pliers, cut their shooting fingers off.
Chicago is back in the national news. With 74 people shot and 12 fatalities, this is now one of the bloodiest weekends on record.
Citizens of the city can't let their kids walk on the street, be on the front stairs even.
It's a little boy that I know, he's 3, 4, 5 years old. He been shot twice.
There were so many bullet holes, and she was bleeding from everywhere.
Violence is the manifestation of our public policy failings across the board.
And this is sad, man. 11-year-old is shot. Boom, 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 boom. And a 17-year-old is shot in the face and dead.
I'm thinking to myself, I could be the next one to get shot, dead. Anywhere, right here, gone.
In Inglewood.
Forever.
It is a war. It ain't Taliban war, it's even worse. Facts. It's worse, man.
I am Madame Francois, and I'm introducing my new luxury skincare brand that's available to you at an attainable price. Discover my beauty secrets, luxurious, effective ingredients with proven results, and a price tag that doesn't break the bank. Come indulge with me at lesmadamefrancois.com.
Hi, I'm Dan O'Shea, Executive Director for Maureen's Haven Homeless Outreach. It is our mission to support the homeless in our community. We provide an emergency winter shelter program, a day center, and support services to help the homeless in our community. With your help, we can continue to provide services so critically needed to the homeless in our community. Please visit www.maureen'shaven.org or call us at 631-727-683.
To Talk with Terra. I am Terra Renee from African American Women in Cinema, and today we are talking to Miss Powerhouse Tiffany, who is her and her husband, the dynamic team. They're shedding light on what needs the light shed upon, so that way a difference can be made for generations to come. And before we went on break, we talked about Chicago and what have been transpiring for years. You know, Tiffany, I read Reverend Abernathy's biography and autobiography that he wrote, and it's about 600 pages. I read that within a week. I just couldn't put the book down. And he talked about Chicago. He talked about the time that him and Dr. King went and they were trying to talk to the gangs even then. But because it was just so much issues going on during his time with race, it couldn't be a huge focus that I felt in reading the book that they wanted it to be.
Right.
So, but anyway, it is so heartwarming to see you, your husband, out there and just shedding light on this, so that our children can understand there's hope. Yes. There's hope. And this is not what life is all about.
It's not. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, you're right. You know, when I think about, I saw a documentary by Nas about Nas.
I love him.
And he goes into the Queensbridge, where he grew up in South Jamaica, or wherever he grew up in Queens. And they show like all these, you know, when somebody gets killed in the hood, they have these candles and like little memorial thing that they did. And when we saw that, my husband and I said, wow, Bronx River, it's like generations in Bronx River that don't know nothing about that. You know what I'm saying? When we started our church in the projects, in the hood, it's whole kids that grew up, they don't know anything about that. You know what I'm saying? And there are kids in Chicago, the next generation, that they need to, this cycle has got to stop. Somebody has to say that they matter, their dreams matter, their lives matter. And if their lives matter, it has to matter more than just if a police person kills them. You understand what I'm saying? We have to rise up for more than that. We're better than that. You know what I'm saying? As a people, we know the truth. You know what I'm saying? And then listen, when we as taxpayers are paying you and you killing us, I'm not trying to take anything away from that. You understand what I'm saying? We marched for George Floyd. We marched. We were out there with Philando Castile. We did all kind of first response to a number of these different things. But now, my people, we have to rise up and say, you know what? The life matters when it's by blue took this life and by black when we took this life. You understand? And so we I just, you know, am passionate about this, and I care about human beings. I care about people that are made in the image of God, just like me. You know what I'm saying? And so they have destinies. When you think about the creativity that came from Chicago, I want you to think about this. Listen to this. I want you to think about this, Terra. Yo, you think about the people who most affected culture in the last, let's say, 50 years. The Obamas. Where they come from, Terra? Chicago, right?
Yes.
Oprah. She wasn't born in Chicago, but she became who she was in Chicago. And let me tell you what, they don't say Chicago, they say Gary, Indiana, but that ain't nothing but the outskirts of Chicago, the Jacksons, okay? Shonda Rhimes from Chicago. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like Kanye West, Chicago. So listen to me. All the people, all the art, all the beauty, all the words and songs and expressions of life, all the doctors, all these people that we never got to see. Michael Jordan, come on now. Came to life in they did that stuff in Chicago. Okay, Chicago owes the world the gift of these people that is being taken away from us. We don't even know what we're missing.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
That's powerful.
We have lost. You and I, not just the people in Chicago. We lose when these deaths, when these lives are taken, when the graves are full of the jewels and the gems of dreams that never got to be fulfilled. We lose.
Wow, that's powerful. Woo! I can go from where I am, go directly to Chicago now. Say, all right, let's get it. Let's do this. You have made a convert out of me. So thank you for my conversion. Well, Miss Tiffany, also, you and your husband, I tell you, again, I am just so enthused by the both of you because the work that you do. And I remember meeting, actually, I met your husband first. And this was around the time that he did the film Emmanuel.
Yes.
Could you talk a little bit about that?
Well, to talk about Emmanuel, again, I'm just going to take it back just a minute, which is, so Emmanuel happened on June, the Emmanuel massacre that I've called the Emmanuel 9, that happened June 17th of 2015. June 18th is the morning that we woke up and heard about it. And June 18th happened to be my baby girl's 4th birthday. So I woke up ready to celebrate my child. I'm a big, birthday person. And I'm a news junkie, turned on the news and was devastated. I met my husband at an AME church. It just felt like this could have happened to me, and I just started weeping and I felt the Lord say, go. It was my daughter's birthday, 4 years old. We had a whole party planned for her, and so I woke my husband up and I said, I don't know why, but we have to go. We have to be there. We have to love on these families. We have to give help. I don't know how, what, but the Lord said go. And so he said, you know what? All right. And we gathered a team, put our kids together. We flew out to Charleston, South Carolina. And as God would have it, we ended up leading the city in grief. Demas would stand up and hold prayer vigils for the city. If you remember, there was a march across a bridge where he led that whole march. So that happened on a Wednesday night where they were slaughtered. By Sunday morning, we had already met with families, blessed them, gave them resources to help with their arrangements and all kinds of stuff. By Sunday morning, early in the morning, before they were going to open up the church to everybody else, the whole world's attention is on this whole massacre, right? On what's going on. The family said the FBI is there. They do a sweep. They got dogs and stuff, bomb people or whatever. And so they said, we're going to allow the families to go into the basement, the downstairs area where these massacres happen. We are going to allow you into this space before we open up this church to everybody else. You're going to have a private moment. They look at my husband. They say, he's coming with us. That's our pastor right now.
Wow.
See, their pastor had just been killed. You understand? So we didn't know. Do you understand? We didn't know what was going to happen. We just went with love in our hearts, and so we responded. So Demas goes down in there and is ministering to the families at this sacred moment, So then from there, they adopted us as, Emmanuel members. And so when they had the eulogy for the pastor, Reverend Clementa Pinckney, we marched in with the family, was seated with the family. Obama sang Amazing Grace, and all of that. And so even after that, we would keep going back in and just trying to help do racial reconciliation between churches, start forums, support in any way that we could. And so let me tell you what happened. So we were going to meet a young director that we had met. And we thought maybe he wanted to talk. My husband wrote an autobiography, a memoir called Street Gods. So a lot of people are interested at the time in the Street Gods story, turning it into something, a movie, a TV show, whatever. So he was, this young director wanted to meet us here in New York. So as we're walking down 5th Avenue, I'm telling you, Terra, I'm a woman of faith. And I know everybody that listening is not a person of faith, but I just listen to what I'm saying. as much as I'm talking to you right now, the Lord said, I am going to make you producers. You and your husband are going to be producers, and you are going to be able to just, show who I am out to the culture on a world stage. We are pastors in the projects. Do you understand? This sounds so crazy. So I tell my husband, he like, all right, whatever. So we go to this meeting in less than an hour. We went there to meet with this young director. His name is Brian Ivy. He was talking about something totally different about, he wasn't even talking about Street God, my husband's story. He came to meet about a story that he wanted Demas to consult about some Brooklyn story. You understand what I'm saying? So we're just talking. He said, yeah, I'm interested in this thing about South Carolina. We was like, wait, what? And so we're like, what are you talking about? The Emmanuel not. I'm like, we were on the ground. The Washington Post did an article on my child.
Wow.
A picture of my child went viral all around the world. Literally, the city of Charleston uses this picture of my child as the back cover of their Welcome to Charleston booklet. You know what I'm saying? And so I got a Washington Post did 2 articles on my family. Okay. We know the families. And so in 1 hour after the Lord said we were going to be producers, he said, oh my gosh, you have to be producers on this project. Come on now. Come on. I'm talking about an hour. Later, I'm talking about the truth. I ain't lying. Oh my God, God works miracles. And then that project, my husband ended up producing, along with Steph Curry, Viola Davis, Rishka Hargitay, all these people signed on to the project. And it was amazing. It's called Emmanuel, talking about just the story of forgiveness and the family story from that entire time that just grappled the attention of the world. Yeah.
That was, well, thank you, Tiffany, for sharing, because that is amazing. That was an amazing journey. But yeah, it stunned a lot of people when the family got up there and said, I forgive you. And unfortunately, one of my aunt's friend was murdered in the church. But we will be right back after these messages. You're listening to Talk with Terra, presented by African American Women in Cinema, right here on Rudy Radio.
We need some vigilante crews. I'm gonna tell you what we need. So these little old jokers running around who shoot us, you gotta take them all snipper pliers, cut their shooting fingers off.
Chicago is back in the national news. With 74 people shot and 12 fatalities, this is now one of the bloodiest weekends on record.
Citizens of the city can't let their kids walk on the street, be on the front stairs even.
It's a little boy that I know, he's 3, 4, 5 years old. He been shot twice.
There were so many bullet holes, and she was bleeding from everywhere.
Violence is the manifestation of our public policy failings across the board.
And this is sad, man. 11-year-old is shot. Boom, 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 boom. And a 17-year-old is shot in the face and dead.
I'm thinking to myself, I could be the next one to get shot, dead, anywhere, right here, gone.
In Inglewood.
Forever.
It is a war. It ain't Taliban war, it's even worse. Facts. Even worse, man.
It's all about humanity. About humanity. It's all about humanity.
Vera Moore Cosmetics and Skincare was formed to empower all women to feel great about themselves for more than just a moment. When it comes to a flawless complexion, skincare is the key. Vera Moore Cosmetics and Skincare is for women of all ages and skin tones. Be the more fabulous woman you were born to be.
The COVID-19 pandemic has changed our lives, but one thing that hasn't changed is the need for routine vaccinations. Vaccine-preventable diseases like measles, flu, and pneumonia haven't gone away and can cause serious illness. Protect yourself, your family, and those around you by staying current with routine vaccinations. Talk to your healthcare professional and stay up to date on all recommended vaccines. Learn more at www.nfid.org.
Welcome back. You're talking with Terra at Talk with Terra. I am Terra Renee from African American Women in Cinema. And today we are talking with the powerhouse, Tiffany, who have just laid it out for us in the projects that she and her husband has done and really continue to do. Tiffany, what is next on your powerful slate of films?
We have a number of projects that have been in our hearts for quite some time. And now I see why people don't talk about their projects because there's still stuff being signed and all this other kind of stuff. But we have a powerful documentary piece mixed with some fiction to it that is, we feel, going to be the next Eyes on the Prize kind of thing that will talk about the faith of the Black church and its importance in America and really the world, really. And so that's one of the projects that we're interested in. We have some scripted projects that my husband has several different scripts that we want to develop and cast and get into action. So we are on the move, and just outside of that, we continue to do things that are humanitarian in nature, activists, or just ministry, showing up and loving people and helping to amplify issues of need.
That is awesome. Well, you all showed up in my life. Maybe I need some ministry at this juncture, and I am so grateful. I am so grateful. Now, do you take projects if someone is recommended to you and say, we would like to pitch something to you, or how do you go about securing projects that you want to work?
So that is what we're working on now. Someone pitched us a project. They want us to direct and produce and develop. If the synergy is right and all things, it's a project that we believe in and these different things. You definitely can pitch us something and we're open to developing brand new ideas as well as being assigned to different projects.
That's
and then
great.
There's also a project in which my husband is just a producer. I may come on as a producer, but so we'll see.
That is great. That is so great. Do your studio how do you take submissions? Do you take submissions where people just email you a synopsis, or how does
right now that's what it is. They're emailing us synopsis at Miss Muffet Studios 1T, Miss Muffet Studios @gmail.com.
Okay. Do you have social media where people can follow you as well to, be abreast of all the wonderful things that you are putting out?
Sure. Thank you so much. I am at Tiffany Hinton, Hinton, Salaberrios, Salaberrios. Tiffany Hinton Salaberrios on Facebook. I'm Tiffany _Salaberrios on Instagram. And for more information about our movie in particular, please do follow the handle of Chicago's Hidden War on Instagram and Facebook. And you can go to chicagoshiddenwar.com to find out all kind of ways in which you can engage, find theaters, donate, make a difference, enlist your help.
Wow, that is beautiful. That is beautiful. Tiffany, someone who's listening today, and I'm serious, you have laid it out on the line, but there's still some that may kind of still be on the fence if they heard the voice of God calling them to go out. What are some of the things that you would tell them as by way of inspiration and encouragement?
Okay. Well, you know what? The great Miles Monroe, he did an amazing thing when he talked about the power of purpose. That is one of the just a seminal mantelpieces in my life, where he described the grave being one of the richest places in the world. That how many jewels and gifts and dreams are just stuck that never got to come into fruition. And so, you know, he challenges people to go to the grave empty. And so when I hear those things like go, it would be totally insane, Terra, and anybody listening to think that a person that would sacrifice their 4-year-old's birthday celebration and promising that they're going to move it back to the, you know, we're going to do it just another time, that I'm going to do this because the movie is going to be made. You understand? That is so crazy. So God just asked for obedience. You just take the step. You have no idea. If your motivations are right, we only went to show love, to give resources, it says mourn with people who mourn, rejoice with people who rejoice. I just wanted to, you understand what I'm saying? When you are obedient and your agenda is love, your agenda is right. You know what I'm saying? All these different things that God was connecting that I had no idea that only I'm qualified out of obedience. And so my admonition to you and those that are listening is be obedient, first of all. And let me tell you what, it's never too late. I started with this dream when I was 3 years old. Okay. I am so overwhelmed that the Lord, unfortunately, my dad passed away in 2013, but my mama is still here. And she still got to see me stand in front of us, step and repeat that said Miss Muffet Studios. And she is honored. And she did not go to the grave without this dream that she knew that's been burning in my soul all these years. I didn't go to the grave with this dream in me. And listen to me, if it was on my own, I don't know if I would have just did A to Z. You know what I'm saying? But as is, I just threw myself into the project, and look at what God has done. I would admonish you, there are real things that you need to do. Like, you do need to start buying lights if you want to be a producer or a director, or I mean, there's tangible things that you can do. There are relationships that you need to help develop. I thank God for you, Terra. You know what I'm saying? Something in our relationship building, whether it's with my husband, and you understand what I'm saying? Be good to people. Be good to people when you meet them. You have no idea how they can speak life to your dream and how they can help the seeds that are in you to germinate and come out and live. Birth that baby that's in you. Birth, don't sit there and say, listen to me. I thought it was over for me. I'm telling you, listen, I had gone to school in my early 20s. Do you understand? And I said, oh, you know, I got to go out to Hollywood. I got to go out to New York. I got to make it happen. I would hate to have 2 children, a mortgage, and a car note, okay, and just start out. Well, guess who got 2 kids, a mortgage, and a car, okay, and just starting out, okay? Guess who got on the Oscar list? Whose thing is inextricably linked with the Academy Awards? Next time, I hope I win. I hope we get nominated. But you know what? Just this, I mean, like God, what God has done to affirm the thing that He put in me. He put this in me. He put that in you, and you deserve, the world deserves what is in you. Get it out. And that's what I would say to you.
Woo! Okay. That is the theme for the week. Get it out.
Birth it out. Make good on your promises to yourself. Make good on your promises to yourself. Do the work. Build relationships. Be good to people. Operate in love and you know, give God the glory. That's all. The door is open from God. I cannot affect all of this that is going on. So I'm thankful and I'm grateful, and I'm ready for more.
And more is coming, and more is coming. And you said some very key elements, doing it with the proper motive. And when you do it with the proper motive, mixed with love, God can trust you to open these doors. He can trust you with his resources. He can trust you with his plan that he's already preordained for your life, because he knows your heart and your mind and your spirit. You're submitted, and you can go to these places and you will understand and do what he wants you to do, and not, oh, well, this is what I'm going to do, And so right. I love that. Listen, audience, you're getting it right from the source. It's truth. Listen to this. These are keys, golden keys. They don't teach you this in school. So I have, Miss Tiffany, I have come to be a witness to what you're saying. And I am finding that the more I am in tune with the proper motive and love and a strong desire to do what is right, and also to do what I believe God has called me to do, I do see mega doors open. And that is the honest God's truth. Wow. And mixed with supernatural elements that you could never do on your own. You can't even think about certain things. You witness that?
Yes, I am a witness to that, Terra. Yeah.
Only he can touch a heart and mind that will make a phone call to you or send you an email, drop you a line, and it'll be a word or opportunity in season. I will share this quick story as we are nearing the end of the show. I remember one time I was being so severely challenged. And I was truly, Tiffany, at the point of just really releasing it, saying, this is a bit much, because that's what comes with the process too. The greater the work, the greater the opposition. Right. And so folks have to be aware of that and not be caught off guard in that vein. But I had enough. I said, I'm tired of trying to make this happen. So I'm done. But when I said that, God was saying, great, I was trying to get you to that point. Now I can step in.
Wow, see that?
And a door he opened. I ended up in a major national magazine, Essence magazine. I got support where I was about to throw everything away. And right coming down the pipe was mega support for what he had called me to do. And at the point of my frustration and giving up, here he showed up and mega doors open. So, wow. And that was a supernatural element. I could not have done it. I have extended myself.
Wow. So you came to the end of yourself.
End.
I said, I'm going to carry you this little bit away. That's awesome. That's awesome. Wow.
So I want to encourage everyone, please take what Tiffany said today. And Tiffany, just thank you so much for taking the time to speak with us, with me and the audience, and sharing all the richness that comes when you submit yourself to God. Some people say higher power, but when you submit yourself to God, you can't even begin to imagine the life he truly has for you. Will there be downs? Yes, there'll be some serious down moments, but there is enough times of blessings and breakthroughs that can make up for that downtime. So, Miss Tiffany, thank you so very much again. We're going to be supporting you. You're welcome. Thank you. And we're going to be supporting you and your husband's work. You're doing an awesome work. Keep doing it. We need to see it, hear it, And we're certainly going to do everything in our power, African American Woman in Cinema, to be by your side and promote what you're doing. Now, I don't know where the time went, but they're telling me that we have to go. Thank you so much for listening to Talk with Terra. I'm Terra Renee from African American Woman in Cinema organization. Visit us at www.aawic.org. You can also follow us on Instagram and Twitter and like us on Facebook. Talk with Terra is made possible by Rude Rangers Entertainment, and our creative director is Rudy J. Breedy. Please don't forget to like and share this episode with as many people as possible. We sincerely appreciate you joining us today and wish you continued peace, blessings, and prosperity. See you next episode.